The U.S. Marathon Olympic Trials happens once every 4 years, an event where all the best marathoners in the country gather to race, and the top 3 are selected to represent the U.S. in the upcoming Olympics. Last time these trials were held was back in 2024. To qualify for these trials as a man, you had to run under 2:18 for the full marathon, which is 5:17 per mile pace. And now to qualify for the 2028 Olympic trials, you have to run even faster. At this point, you may be asking yourself, who is this guy? My name is Adam Wood, and I actually didn't qualify last time. And it wasn't for lack of trying. I tried, like, really hard. I missed the qualifying standard by a painful 35 seconds. That's less than a second faster per kilometer. But now the new standards are set, and I think I'm ready to be hurt again. So what does this mean for US marathoning? In this video, I'm going to give my initial thoughts on the new standard, talk about if this grows or hinders the sport, and go over my plan to qualify for the upcoming trials. Hey guys, good morning. We have a workout, a long tempo, little nervous for it. This is only my 3rd week back into workouts since my little reset that I took a few weeks ago. So 8-mile long tempo. It's not really gonna be at tempo pace. It's more of like a up tempo, sub threshold, I don't know, whatever you wanna call it, but shooting for 5:20s to 5:30s today. 8 miles though. This is the longest extended effort I've done in a few months, so I'm excited to see what this looks like. But more importantly, guys, we have some news fresh off the press, fresh off the news press. We have the updated Olympic trials qualifying times: 2:16 for the men, 2:37 for the women. And what's really cool is the qualifying window opens September 1st, so this fall. And so that's a pretty big deal. And that's gonna be the topic of today's video. I'm gonna try and share my thoughts and what I think about it, and maybe some ideas for the future, and kind of just go over what I plan on doing to try and hit that time. Okay guys, peep game, lock in here because I really want to get my point across, all right? 2:16, that's pretty fast. Last go around, I ran 2:18:30. The qualifying time was 2:18, so I was 30 seconds away. Good math there. Now it's a whole 2.5 minutes faster. Again, good math there. I would like to say that, you know, there are like 2 or 3 things that I could easily change that would help me like rise to that next level. Fact of the matter is, you guys, there's nothing like that because last time I was trying really hard. I was literally giving it all that I had. I was doing the best I can, and I'm still doing the best I can to be the best I can. And sometimes that's not enough. Here's the deal. Am I disheartened about that? No. Am I mad about it? Yeah, dude, sometimes I get pissed. Bro, I get fired up. I'm fired up, but really, I have to find more. You have to find ways that you can pull more out of yourself. You gotta do what you gotta do to find more. Guys, that's just the sport in general. I also don't wanna come across as corny and a cornball, but you can't tell a cornball not to be corny. It goes against their nature. Oh gosh. I don't want to be Tommy Tough Knuckles over here and be like, yeah, I want the 2-minute change. I want the standard to be as hard as it can because that's just gonna make me better. Like, that is a great mindset, but that's not a realistic mindset. Perfect world for me, the qualifying time is 2:20:16 and they accept times from last December, so my 2:20:15 from Valencia makes it in. Now, obviously, that's not the real world. Things are sometimes faster or whatever.
I'm losing it.
Yeah, I'm losing it too. But
I think the first one was really
yeah, anyways, guys, like. The real question is, we're here, we're at Lake Loup, famous Lake Loup. Everybody comes here to work out down in Provo. And looks like we have a friend who's here. Show him the shoes. Those are Michael Oddison's shoe. I knew he had a tempo today. He went a little bit earlier than I did, shorter and faster. So he's probably on his cool down. And I'm trying to figure out which way I can go to find him. So.
My guess is that trail right
up?
there.
You think he went up?
Yeah.
Because sometimes he goes down.
Hi, you've reached Michael Oddison.
Okay, I'm gonna run with my phone just in case he calls back.
Okay.
I'm on the prowl. I found him against all odds. He was out running in the woods, but I still found him.
How was your workout?
It was good. That was a good workout. I did 4-mile tempo.
Nice.
And 19:24. It's like 4:51 average.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so
really
it's
fast.
good. But this is like the peak of, you know, this is like 2.5 weeks for the marathon. So
Good sign then.
this is when I should be fit.
Yeah. Okay, pace range for this power run is 5:20 to 5:30. Ego says I should start off running 5:20s. Brain says 5:30s, heart says 5:20s. So as you guys know, I've been building back into these workouts in mileage. When I'm in a marathon build, normally I'll do long tempos, anywhere from 8 to 14 miles, but I was a little nervous for this one because this is my first long extended effort from the workouts I've done since my reset. I was optimistic though, because workouts lately have been really clicky. Recently, 5-minute pace and under has felt easier than ever, but again, I'm early on in the training cycle, so wasn't entirely sure what to expect. I know I just said that I wanted to start conservative and start around 5:30 pace, but unfortunately, first half kilometer or so was at 4:45 pace. And even with me slamming on the brakes, I went through the first mile at 5:20. So I just decided, all right, no slower, but no faster either. Eight miles, 5:19. Going pretty good.
Crushed it.
What's up, guy? How you doing?
Good.
Dude, man.
You already worked out?
Yeah, dude, I just finished. How you doing? Bro, are you filming right now?
Not right now.
Dude, those are sick. I saw those.
It's right now. I gotta get some.
So 8 miles at 5:19. I ended up surprising myself today on this one just because I haven't done anything extended like this in a really long time. This workout in my mind is just as good as some of the workouts I was having in the middle of my last marathon build, which is really encouraging. Today I did run in my Coros Pace Pro with my Coros heart rate monitor, and something I always like to keep an eye on when I'm building back up into training is my training status. You just upload your run, go into the Coros app, and it updates after every single activity. It's really nice and super easy. Right here it says that I've been training consistently over the past 7 days, and so my fitness level is rapidly improving and that I'm in the optimized zone, and I can really feel that. So basically the intensity trend takes a look at your base fitness, which is the amount of training your body has been under for the past like 42 days, and the load impact, which is the amount of training your body has been placed under for the last 7 days. The intensity trend takes this into account and gives you a good idea on the stimulus given to your body over the past 7 days of training. And this just overall helps me have a more complete picture on what I'm putting my body through. Optimizing your training helps you gain fitness really quickly, but if you push your body too hard and the stimulus is too high, you increase your risk of injury. I always keep an eye on this when I'm either getting back into it or in peak training, and I always cross-check it with how I feel to make sure I'm not overdoing it. And this is really great for anyone at any level to use, since this data is personalized to you. In fact, when I didn't have a coach for a while, this really helped guide my training and really helped me make the adjustments needed. Overall, this is a key metric that I think everyone should be keeping an eye on. All right, time to cool down. 10 miles total. We'll hit 12 for the day. 8 miles, 5:19 pace. All I gotta do is take 9 seconds off that, do it for 18 more miles.
Easy.
And I got a sub 216. No problem. But at least I'll be at sea level, so. Okay. All right. I hate cooling down alone. It's like the worst.
How far are you going?
Just 2, but like I wish I had someone to talk to. Okay, here are my final thoughts on the new Olympic marathon times. 2:16 for the men, 2:37 for the women. Not gonna lie, I wasn't surprised because I've heard rumors about these times for like months and months. But there seems to be a lot of mixed feelings about these new times. Some people are happy, some people are upset. Now, I did hear some rumors that the committee or whoever was playing around with the idea of having small, medium, and large fields. Seems like this go around, they decided they wanted to stick with the medium-sized fields, shooting for maybe 200 or so athletes. Something that I've been surprised about is there are a lot of people with the opinion that they should have really small field sizes. I'm pretty sure that the Olympic trials loses money, or at least it doesn't make any money. And so less athletes, you're cutting costs that way. And also it keeps the prestige of the race. I don't like the idea of taking opportunities away from athletes just because of money. I am, however, more understanding that obviously they want to keep the prestige of the race high. They want the race to be a big deal. Personally, for me, making the Olympic trials, it'd mean a lot. I know it's a big deal and I know it's hard to get there. So those reasons I can see and kind of understand. But there are some people who think that the field size should be way smaller, like 25 to 50 athletes, like only athletes who have a legitimate shot of making the Olympic teams. And I don't really like this argument too much from my complete unbiased opinion. And that's because I feel like there's a lot of new and upcoming marathoners in the sport. I just feel like that would end up hurting USA marathoning as a whole. But one thing that I always come back to is we want to grow the sport of running, both at an amateur level and at a professional level. That's like a buzz phrase, like, I want to grow the sport of running. I want to grow the sport of running. The marathon is something that's really special. The best in the world share the same starting line as the everyday runner. And it's when those two worlds meet, the professional and the amateur level, it's when those two worlds meet that it makes it super special. And I really think that the Olympic trials does the same exact thing. It's kind of the bridge between, you know, amateur, elite, sub-elite, professional, whatever. It's really the bridge between all of those, and it makes it really special. And I really think it's a race that grows the sport. It inspires everybody. It inspires bubble guys like me to continue in the sport, to keep pushing hard. And it's just a really fun goal to have for a lot of people. So that's why I disagree when people like suggest field sizes of like 15 or 20, because I really think that would just end up shrinking the sport. So overall, I am happy that they decided not to go that route and stick with the more medium-sized field approach. Obviously, I understand that at the end of the day, it comes down to the brass tacks. How much money can this make? How much money is it losing? Who's gonna fund all this stuff? An idea that I think would be really cool. Again, I don't really know what I'm talking about. I don't know the intricacies of hosting an event like this. In my head, I think a really easy way of offsetting the cost would be hosting a marathon on the same exact course the day before the Olympic trials that people can sign up for. The proceeds of that race would go towards obviously putting on the event as a whole. That way, people who want to support US marathoning, they can race on the same course as some of their favorite elite American marathon runners. And it probably would increase the crowd support for the Olympic trials that would be hosted the very next day. And overall, I think that would be like the best way to grow the sport while keeping like the Olympic trials intact. Anyways, guys, these are my thoughts on it. I don't necessarily have any negative feelings towards it. I'm happy that the field size is staying medium. My real plan for trying to qualify for the Olympic trials is just to get better. As funny and as simple as that sounds, like that's at the end of the day, I got to get better. I got to run on 2:16. But let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know what I may have missed, what I'm overlooking. Be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.
I know sometimes life can be tough, and you feel like you just had enough. When you're thinking everything is gone wrong,